Surprise Monday edition of Oilersnation Everyday.
For both of us.
Yeah, for both of us. This really did come together kind of last minute. First off, welcome into the show. We are live on the Oilers Nation YouTube, where we now have someone else streaming live on our YouTube.
Dun, dun, dun.
Gregor.
No longer an intern. We gave him his own show.
Yeah, I gave him his own show. I'm really proud of the strides that my intern Jason Gregor made ever since he came to the draft with me. I knew there was something special in him. First couple of days of that show, ironing out the kinks. No kinks on this show.
Nope. We are perfect.
No kink shaming on this show.
Let us know your kinks in the chat.
Okay, so basically what happened was we were sitting around last week and we were like, hey, when are we going to do another show? Because we were supposed to do one last Tuesday. And then I went to 1440, the studio, to set up Gregor's show for the live stream and tried to make sure everything was going smooth there. So the Tuesday show just totally fell apart last week because we were busy doing other stuff at the network. And then it was like, okay, we'll do on Tuesday. But now I'm going to a retreat with people in Hinton this week.
Oh,
I was supposed to be in Vegas today. Let the record show. I was supposed to be in Vegas today for Player Media Tour. That ended up not happening. I'm going to Hinton, which you described as the Vegas of Alberta.
well, that's what they call it. Vegas is the north.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to Hinton, so I can't do the show tomorrow. So then it was just, okay, well, we could do on Wednesday, still in Hinton. Later in the week, I'm going to Toronto to watch the Jays.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, we were like, well, we can't go 2 weeks without doing a show. So then we kind of put a pin in it, and now we're back. And today at what, 10:30, you were like, hey, should we do a show?
Yeah, it's something like that.
And
this is our first show together since I left for Europe.
No, it's not.
In person.
In person.
Oh, in person. Yeah.
Person.
I miss this view I get to look at right here.
I can't believe we're revealing the studio.
A little bit. Well, first off, you guys came out to the Nation truck and helped me carry in like 8 boxes worth of stuff. So we can get this thing much more set up this week, or we could have if I wasn't leaving.
Yeah, I'll just wait for you to come back.
Yeah,
to
no.
do anything.
Tyler's the dad.
I wouldn't want to mess anything up.
The drill.
Yeah, I'm good. I actually forgot my toolbox though, so we probably can't do anything for the rest of the day.
I was surprised at how handy Tyler was. I was a little. I mean, no shots.
Yeah, you weren't expecting it.
I wasn't.
And I know my way
He's
around
got some dad stuff. You got any dad sandals?
I've only seen one thing fall apart from your handyman stuff.
What was it?
Is that light over there? Remember when it just fell off?
Oh yeah, it just fell off. But it's good now. You just have to be careful with how you adjust it. But it works.
We're back, baby.
We're back. We're back. If you missed it last week, our friend Ryan dropped off some Oilers Nation Everyday cookies for us, which was awesome. And then we used that. He dropped them off as a thank you for the golf tournament, which was weird that he was thanking us because we should have been thanking him because he donated a ton of money to Gregor's grads. That was great. But we use that as the opportunity to tell people this show's going back to Everyday on October 2nd.
Yes, Monday, October 2nd.
Confirmed. That is also going to be the debut season 3 of Daily Face-Off Live. And Daily Face-Off Live is going to have a new feel this year.
Is it?
In the past, we've done the rotating host schedule where it'd be like me and Frank, me and McKenna, Frank and McKenna, Frank and Colby. This year, it's just me and Frank every day. So if you're looking for basically a 30-minute daily recap of everything going on around the NHL, Daily Face-Off Live with Frank Saravalli, and then in brackets, and also Tyler Yaremchuk. That is happening October 2nd, 10 a.m., 30 minutes a day. It's going to be fun. Number 2 is our show at noon.
Yeah.
Same thing as last year, but we're committing to a full hour every single day, at least. We might even go longer some days if we're rolling. But we're committing to a full hour every single day, noon Mountain Time, in this studio.
More guests.
More guests. That's number 1.
An hour.
An hour.
That's number 2.
Other than that, I think we'll just keep giving people what we did last year. We're not going to get too cute with this.
I think we took a turn on the show in the playoffs. We changed our approach to things.
Mm-hmm.
The look of the show is a little bit different from the playoffs onwards.
I liked having Belsey.
And I think it worked.
Right,
so that kind of stuff.
It's not dead. He's just not doing the show next year because he's with Nielsen. Did not want anyone to think we killed Sean Bell. He's alive and well. I was texting him a couple weeks ago. Anywho, we're going to keep it as similar to the approach we had in the playoffs.
Yes.
Oh, also, apparently Frank Saravalli is coming to Edmonton in a couple weeks.
Oh.
So we might do a surprise show with Frank. Keep it locked.
Enough seats.
We do have enough seats in the new studio because there's 2 over there that you can't even see on camera. Anyways, Dr. Gonzo said if it ain't broke, and, you know, It wasn't broken last year, that's for sure.
No.
But I
Not-
think we can make it a
not-
little better.
Yeah, there's always room for
Yeah.
improvement.
Yeah.
May have noticed we changed the back. Wasn't the background of the show black for a little bit?
For playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Now
Now it's back to blue.
blue.
And the boys are back in town. That's the title of the show because it was Captain Skate for the Edmonton Oilers. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll have a Sherwood Ford Giant offseason question of the day, even though we should probably rename that the Sherwood Ford Giant preseason question of the day because we're kind of out of the offseason. Like the boys are skating. They're hitting the ice at the community arena, I think like almost every day right now. Like it's hockey season. Giddy up.
We are in the full swing of things. We've got players talking to the media in front of cameras now.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent Desharnais was on a podcast today. Did you see that quote?
I did, and he told a story about when he messed up in the playoffs, and he went and told Connor, like, hey, that's on me. That dash one's on me. And Connor basically said, I don't care about effing stats. I care about winning.
Yep.
Which is nice.
Which is, it's good to see that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's it does feel like we're edging closer, despite it being like 28 degrees today.
It's hot.
On a beautiful
I
day.
wore jeans. Big mistake.
That was a big mistake. I
Yeah.
don't really own the blue jeans.
I think it'd be a good look for you. We're a big Lululemon pants show.
We are.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's-
big
that's what I'm
Lululemon
on.
pants.
And next year, if our legs are going to be exposed for all the episodes, probably some pressure on us to wear nice pants.
Yeah, well, like these are my H&M shorts.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I got H&M shorts, Lululemon. What are they called?
The joggers.
The joggers, yeah.
The joggers. What were we? We're
sorry,
mailing
a
this
bit-
one in.
a
Like
bit
we have
swayed.
basically no show
The
prep.
boys are back.
Yeah, boys are back. Oilers are skating. A lot of fun. Active in the chat. If you want to drop in anything, we'll probably read it because, again, not a ton going on today other than the team skating. We're going to have a big list towards the end of the show as well. As always, we are coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio. Check them out, sportscloset.ca, or at one of their 3 Edmonton area locations. Kingsway Mall, St. Albert Mall, Sherwood Park Mall.
I think this is going to be our last show of nonsense. I think next week we're going to start getting in a bit of a rhythm.
I think it'll be nonsense till October, too, when we really kick off. Like, new intro, boom, bang.
That's true, but we're going to get like
I can't wait for
preseason
the new
stuff.
intros. Yeah.
Preseason stuff is going to happen.
Yeah, that's
I-
fair.
I'll
There will be
finish-
hockey to talk about to some
Yeah.
extent.
Our first show, the Oilers play the Kraken. So it'll be a pregame show almost, kind of.
That's an interesting tie-in because next year we are
Yep.
adding another show to the roster,
Yep.
and it's going to be, we're not going to say everything right now, but there will be a true Oilers Nation pregame show next year.
Yes.
We'll have more details on it later, so everyone calm down.
Calm
But
down.
a true pregame show that will take you 1 hour up until puck drop. We're also bringing back Oilers Nation After Dark in a bit of a new format next year. So we're going to have a post-game show live until 45 minutes to an hour after every single Oilers game. So we will have you covered on the Oilers Nation YouTube, front and back end. We are also working on a way to get our YouTube live in your vehicle as if it were a
Yes.
radio show.
Yeah, that'll be really cool if we can get that one off the ground. Well, we will get it off the ground. It's just a matter of
We're getting it off the ground. Yeah, it's just a matter of the day we finally do it. But lots of new stuff coming in on the YouTube. And then, of course, we have Gregor for 4 hours every day on the YouTube as well. Over on the YouTube chat, JP Deno is in and says, live on a Monday. It's been too long. Yeah, it's been a long, long time since we've done a show on a Monday. Jeremy's in, finally getting to catch the show live again. It's been a minute. Hell yeah. And APOC Hockey Fanatic said, LFG, almost time for hockey. Rusty's in the chat as well. Love seeing Rusty in there. Let's get into the Sherwood Ford Giant offseason question of the day, Liam. I was out at the Sherwood Ford Golf Tournament yesterday.
How was it?
It was good. It was at the Broadmoor course.
Love Broadmoor.
It was
Represent.
in
Yeah,
good shape.
that's
There were
pretty-
a lot of teams out there. Me and my crew, it was scramble. Shot 12
Yeah.
under. Pretty solid.
That's good. Any
Eat-
40-foot putts?
No long
Yeah.
putts. No
No.
long putts. But
Give it
we
to
were
me.
missing you. Well, I wanted you to go. You said no. And then I won a $50 Costco card in the draws after.
Oh,
So that's
that
a
is
pretty
big.
good day.
Do you know what? Here's a little life hack actually for Costco.
Okay.
If you have a Costco gift card, you can get into the place without a Costco card.
Yeah, if you were to just go buy like
Yeah.
$500 in Costco gift cards at the beginning of the year, you
Mhm.
don't need a membership to go in. You
Yeah.
can just show the gift card.
Saw that on YouTube. the
And
other
that's
day.
not even like you're pulling a fast one on anyone.
No,
Like
it's
that is their
legit.
policy.
Yeah.
I am now 28-year-old male, and I still have to go to Costco with my mom.
Can't you
Nothing
just?
wrong with that.
I could, but I don't.
I
know.
think
I'm only-
you also live
I was
alone
gonna say,
though.
I'm shopping for one, so my Costco
Yeah.
trip lasts me a pretty long time.
What are you going to get? 24 bio steals? Like, no one needs that. You don't need like 8 months of toilet paper at a
You're
time.
gonna buy muffins, and half of them will be rotten by the
Yeah,
time
true,
you
yeah.
get through it.
Although, you know what's a banging deal at Costco is getting the packs of bagels, because you get like 10 bagels for $7 and you just freeze them.
That is a deal. That is a good deal.
It's like 10 breakfasts.
I've been thinking about bargains a lot recently. Maybe that's another show. Maybe that's another big list.
Best bargains.
Best bargains.
Liam's life hacks.
Hey,
Those are two
if you guys want it,
eliminations.
we get to 40 likes today. I'll do a life hacks episode.
Anyways, Sherwood Ford Giant.
Oh my God, yes, I'm going to like it.
Sherwood Ford Giant. Sherwood Ford golf tournament was great. Sherwood Ford Giant preseason question of the day is this, Liam, and it's being talked about in the chat a little bit right now. I see Wise Kyle popped a question in there. But who is the player with the most to prove in training camp? Wise Kyle said, does Sutter even make the lineup? Even as a 13th forward, I think he would be one of the guys who would be on the short list as the answer to this question, the player with the most to prove. Now, the first name that popped into my head was Raph Lavoie.
Yeah.
He's an interesting candidate because, you know, a couple years in the minors, took a big step forward with Bakersfield last season. And now it's no longer waiver eligible. If you want to be an NHLer, this is the training camp where you go out and prove it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that spot kind of feels like it's his to lose. And I talked about this on ON Radio last week or last week. And I talked about this with Gregor too, and I did my weekly hit with him on Wednesday. Raph Lavoie's spot on the team, like, he's the leader. Someone has to knock him down.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Sutter and Sam Gagner have to play so well that the Oilers can internally justify waiving a second-round pick that they've put years of development into. That's a tough thing to do, to sit there and be like, we picked this guy 30 whatever overall. We kept him in the minors. We brought him to rookie camps. He's, you know, we've watched him grow, and then we're going to lose him for nothing. It'll be very, very hard for Sam Gagner or Brandon Sutter to make this team at a camp. And that's why I'm not sure if they're my answer to this question. I think my answer to this question is Philip Broberg.
Yeah.
Because that's a guy whose everyday spot in the lineup is not a guarantee. When you look at the left side of this blue line, it's very, very clearly Nurse and Ekholm, and then Kulak, and then Broberg. The right side of the blue line, Bouchard, Ceci, Desharnais. That Desharnais spot's not written in ink. It is very much written in pencil.
Yeah, it is.
And if you're Philip Broberg in your draft plus, what is it? Draft plus 4 year now for him because he was a 2019 pick?
Yep, 4 years. Well, a lot of people in that draft are thriving in the NHL now.
Do you really want to be going back down to Bakersfield again in your draft plus 4 year? At that point, you're getting the bust label, or you're getting close to it at least.
Yeah, it's. I would agree. Broberg is probably ahead of Lavoie in that category of things. But wasn't there some skates saying that he was on the second pairing of defensemen and stuff? Like, he really needs to like just grab hold of something here and run with it a little bit. And the problem he's really had is every time he gets some kind of momentum, he gets hurt.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a minor thing, he's out for a few games. It's like, well, then the team continues to win, and then you get a guy like Desharnais who comes in and proves himself for the majority of the playoffs and the end of the season last year. And so, yeah, Broberg would be a good one. I'll try and think of someone a bit different. I think maybe someone like Derek Ryan really needs to prove himself, in the sense of like, he's an older guy now. They just gave him a 2-year deal. Is okay, go and prove to us that you actually deserve that 2-year deal in a way. Holloway could be another guy in that list too.
I think my argument against Derek Ryan is he only gets sent down if he's bad.
Yes.
Like, if he's average, they keep him up.
Mm-hmm.
Holloway's an interesting one. And we got a comment in here from Wise Kyle. I could see Holloway being in Bakersfield and Lavoie Sutter being in Edmonton. And honestly, I probably didn't consider that enough. If we want to flashback up the line combos, AB. Okay, Holloway in that 4 left wing spot. I mean, really, he's probably playing for that 3 left wing spot. But Warren Fogle is a natural left winger.
Mm-hmm.
So you could look at the left side of this forward group and very easily go Hyman, Nuge, Fogle, Janmark. And then the right side could very easily be Brown, Kane, Lavoie, and Derek Ryan. All of a sudden, you don't need to waive anyone if it's Holloway going down. You can keep a veteran 4C, whether it's Peterson, whether it's Sutter or Gagner, and maybe you give Lavoie or Holloway another half year in Bakersfield.
I don't think they would have a problem with doing that either. Like Holland's famously known for just allowing players to develop for as long as they really need to. And how many games has he actually played in Bakersfield? 33 last year. 12. He's played more games for the Edmonton Oilers than he's played for the Bakersfield Condors, which is kind of crazy to think of because he only ended up playing 12 games last season.
If you count playoff games, it's 52-51. So close.
My
being
bad.
an ass. But no, I think that's a good point. Like, we talked about Broberg and draft plus 4 year kind of being like, okay, you can't be going back down to Bakersfield. Holloway a year younger, I think you can justify it a lot easier. And again, like, it's in a way a get out of jail free card here. Because if you go through camp and one of Gagne or Sutter or Peterson are so good that you're like, we need these guys playing as our fourth line center on a nightly basis, but you don't want to lose Lavoie. It's not like Dylan Holloway came into this Oilers lineup and was lights out from day one on last year. Like, he struggled. He didn't play a ton.
I would say, I'm just looking here out of curiosity. Ryan McLeod played 91 games in the American League before he came to the Oilers and had 56 points.
I like that point.
If Holloway went down to Bakersfield to start the season, he would not finish the season in Bakersfield. He would make his way eventually to the
Someone
Oilers.
will get hurt. Eventually, he finds his way
He'll
up.
be
I
on the
agree.
team.
Yep.
And there's a lot of stock that goes into who's on the team opening night.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters that much. Costin and Janmark weren't on the team opening night last season, were they? Desharnais too. And Jack Campbell was our starter. We finished the season with Skinner as a starter and then those three guys in the lineup every night, So it's not a big deal if Dylan Holloway ends up going down to Bakersfield. I do think he still has a lot to prove to this team. We saw him have a great preseason last year, and then it all kind of hit the wall very quickly when the NHL season actually started. So hopefully Holloway can make his team because I think he has the ability to be a 15, 20 goal guy at his best, right? So we'll see. But yeah, I think he's the guy for me, actually, who I would say is top of that list.
The more we kind of go through this exercise on the short for giant preseason question of the day, the more I'm honestly like, Holloway might be on the outside looking in heading into camp. He might need to dethrone someone.
I think they really want a good fourth line centerman. I think they really need that.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe Brandon Sutter could be that guy. He's a good player. I know he hasn't.
Lane Peterson could be that guy too.
Lane Peterson too. Yeah.
We keep talking about Gagne and Sutter. They signed those guys as PTOs. They liked Lane Peterson enough to give him a contract in July.
Yeah, that's true.
And a 2-year deal as well, right? 2-year deal.
2-year, one way.
So they clearly like Lane Peterson more than they like Brandon Sutter and Sam Gagne at the moment.
Yes and no. I think those two just have PTOs because they're like.
Peterson probably clears waivers too, so you could move around.
And those two just have injuries and stuff like that. You don't want to put a contract on them, but it is probably safe for us to assume that Pedersen probably is higher on the list than in the sense of those three guys. I honestly think Sam Gagne is going to struggle massively to make this team, which I know
health related or just ability.
But
yeah, he hit double-digit goals in the NHL recently. Brandon Sutter hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah, I think they're both going to kind of be on the edge, but in the sense of like Gagne's a winger now, right?
He's basically another Derek Ryan in the sense that maybe you can trust him to win draws, but you don't want him. He doesn't have the boots to play center.
Do you want two Derek Ryans on the fourth line?
Kind of.
Why not? Yeah.
I'm excited to see how this all kind of plays out. But the more we spoke about it, I think I've talked myself into Dylan Holloway maybe not being on this team right away.
Did you make this today? Or did you make it when they signed him?
I think I made it a few weeks ago.
I love that instead of putting like seasons in the NHL, you put experience. It's some like the seasons or something he's like really accumulating.
Man.
16 experience XP. That'll be how we refer to seasons in the league now. How many XP he's got? 12?
I think that's how they did it on the NHL website, to be honest.
Really?
Roberts plus 4 XP after.
Just a little copy and paste job.
Have you tried to use the NHL website for
horrendous?
It's quite honestly one of the biggest pieces of shit on the internet right
It
now.
was so good last season. It was so good last year. It was so easy to kind of navigate around, and now it's just
you go to hit standings and it just blocks you out. Bad message 431. You go. I was trying to write an article on Jack Campbell. Try to go to Jack Campbell stats. Error message. Like you cannot look up anything with the NHL right now.
Well, that's good timing because the season's not coming around the corner or anything.
Real CFL vibes from NHL.com right now.
Don't get me started.
All right, let's catch up with what you're all saying in the Oilers Nation YouTube chat. If you're watching along, hammer that like button. We talked about the Wise Kyle point. Really interesting with Holloway potentially being sent down. I do think there's a chance that happens. Sergeant Battle asked, does Marcus Niemelainen have a chance to push either Broberg or Vinny down? Yes. I'm going to really.
I think so. I think if they're going to wait that long.
Well, it's the waiver thing too, right? Like if Niemelainen plays good enough that you're like, he can be our 7 for a bit and Broberg can go play 20 minutes a night. Like maybe that's their logic.
I just think if they're going to wait for a guy like Desharnais to kind of, what do you call it? When a flower pops?
Blossom?
Blossom.
There you go.
They might wait around for a Niemelainen, who has played a few games in the NHL too.
Yeah.
And was good until, ironically, Matthias Ekholm went to fight him. And then he turtled, and he's never been the same.
Wise Kyle said, you can save in cap space because Lavoie's 874, Holloway's 975. Accrue more cap space to bring up a 13 or 14 forward sooner, like Holloway or Gagne. It's not exactly, I think, how it works with that side of things, but the point is well taken. You save $100,000 by making that swap, or $50,000, I guess, is the math there. But again, I think waivers is the bigger factor over cap space there. Like, you don't want to lose Lavoie for nothing, so you keep him up. The 50 grand it's the 50 grand. It's not make or break really for the Oilers because they're going to be going with 12 forward, 70, and a 21-man roster. Mm-hmm. Loomis says, I don't think Nemo pushes Broberg or Desharnais down. I think I agree with that. I just, again, the waiver thing is going to be so tricky at the start of the year. Tomatoes said Holloway needs to have an even better preseason than last year to make the team. No.
You can just do the same. He'll make the team.
Yeah, like you got to remember how high we were on him coming out of preseason last year. I don't know. There's maybe even a part of me that's like, maybe they've made some decisions already. Like maybe they're like Holloway's going down. Lavoie is staying up. Probably. One of Peterson, Sutter, or Gagne is making the team because we aren't risking losing Lavoie for nothing. Like that might just be something they've already kind of met and been like, yeah, it's happening.
There's probably a ghost roster. Well, there's definitely a ghost roster that they have that they're ready for. But it's what camp's for. These players have to come in and prove themselves in every way. Like maybe Lavoie's not good at camp. Maybe Lavoie,
like if he comes in and he sucks, like they very easily could just be like, oh, you're never going to be an NHLer. We don't know internally how they feel about this guy.
No, we really don't. So it's a little on Lavoie as well to push them, right? Because he wasn't great under Woodcroft in Bakersfield, and then Woodcroft leaves, and then what's the Chalk? Is the coach?
Yeah, Colin Chalk.
Chalk.
Is he still the head coach?
He thrives. I think so. I don't know.
I think he is.
Find out when he does his first interview of the year.
I wanted to find out, but I won't be able to Google it fast enough. You think we'd be more dialed in, but again, we decided about 90 minutes ago we were going to do a show. Mm-hmm. Quality broadcasting. Wise Kyle, Sutter was dealing with long COVID. Sutter could be Nick Bukestad 2.0. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
He's not scoring yet. He's not scoring the way Bukestad scores.
But nobody thought Nick Bukestad was going to score 20 this season or last season.
Well, you thought he could score 10 to 15.
Yeah.
What's Sutter's track record?
Yeah, get on that.
The biggest thing I know about Google Brandon Sutter is that he replaced Jordan Staal on the Pittsburgh Penguins that year, and everyone thought he was just gonna the three-headed monster is back, and he just never really, got it.
Brad Istis is in, and I will cut Brad some slack because I don't recognize his name, so I'm not sure how much he comments. But Brad, the rule is if you bring up stuff with Jack Campbell being moved, you get banned for 3 minutes or 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You get banned from commenting for 5 minutes. I'm not going to ban you. I'll cut you some slack. It's preseason for everyone, even the YouTube chat. Is there any scenario that sends Campbell down? Come on.
No.
What do you think? Colin Pickard's going to be the backup this year? Like
Calvin Pickard.
Calvin, who did I say?
Colin.
Classic.
Same.
Classic. Like they're not sending down Jack Campbell to keep one of like what Ryan Fanti, Picard, or Rodrigo up to be the backup. Jack Campbell is heading into year 2 of a $5 million deal. Did year 1 go well? No. Are they going to punt on this after 1 season? No. Jack Campbell will be on the opening day roster. Guaranteed. Unless he's hurt.
There's just no one pushing him.
Yeah, but I mean, like, again,
a third string that was really pushing him, then maybe we can have somewhat of a conversation. But there's not. The Oilers don't have the depth, and why should they? They're paying this man $5.5 million to be good. They don't need the depth. Well, actually, they do.
Dr. Gonzo, we had the player card for Raffle of Wall pulled up, and he said, "Sheesh, Raffy is a big boy." The Oilers don't really have size like that, or not a lot of it. Like, again, because he's a young player, you don't really think of him as like a power forward or whatever, but like he can bring that element. Those numbers are impressive. And the fact he's 6'4" and is probably going to come in this year heavier than 200 pounds, he has a chance to be a guy for him. He can be more than a guy. He can be an impact piece, not just a guy.
I know a lot of people are looking at that and be like, oh, he's not a point per game player. But apparently, well, not apparently, this is true. I was reading Bruce Kurlock's stuff on him. Basically, the back half of the season, this guy just went nuts and was a point per game player, one of the most informed players in the American League. So, in the grand scheme of things of the overall season, yes, the numbers they're good. 25 goals is very good. But the back half of the season is when it was like, okay, this guy's ready.
He had like one in his first 14 or something like that.
Yeah, it was something stupid.
Helen Yeller is in and says,
that's a great name.
And their profile picture is Phil Kessel. Said, "Yo, Islanders fan here." Okay. And then said, "How you guys doing? Love your podcast. Been watching for a few weeks now." That's a lie. We haven't done one in a few weeks.
Yep. How could you?
There you go.
Classic Islanders fan. Go yell at John Tavares a little bit more.
Heard a rumor Thomas Tatar might sign in Long Island, though.
Really? Well, that wouldn't be surprising, would it? They just signed the most random players.
He switched agencies to the agency that represents like Clutterbuck, Martin, Cizikas, like every player Lou brings back religiously. Tatar switched to him. So I don't even know if they can afford him or like what that deal could look like because they have negative cap space. But I just saw that on Twitter today. There you go. That's a wrap on our giant preseason question of the day. Let's get to the Star Mechanicals news desk because there are a few things to touch on from the last couple of weeks around the NHL from a news perspective. Shout out to Star Mechanical, Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. Need 24/7 emergency service? They can provide it to you. And all you need to do is call the number 780-481-8873. Boom. They also sponsored our golf tournament. That was a lot of fun. First piece on the news desk, Liam. Jake Sanderson.
Yeah.
He has not played 100 games in the NHL. And he just got himself $64 million guaranteed over the next 8 years from the Ottawa Senators. An absolute monster deal for a player who, by most, is considered one of the premier young defensemen in the sport. That is a monster contract. Jake Sanderson, though, is only 21 years old and proved last season he can give you top 4 minutes. And he's probably right on the cusp of giving you elite top 4 minutes. Good deal, bad deal, both sides win.
What was it again? 8.5?
8.05.
Yeah,
basically 8 by 8.
I think that's a good deal for both parties, I would say. I think in the long term, it's going to benefit the Sens, and in the short term, it's going to benefit Sanderson more. And then eventually, they'll just meet somewhere in the middle. He's a good defenseman. He's very good. He's also, I know it says he's from the US, but he's actually from Calgary.
All right.
There you go.
I think this is a massive victory for each side. If you are Ottawa and you think Jake Sanderson is your #1 D-man of the future, which he is, paying that guy $8 million for the next 3 seasons when maybe it's a bit of an overpay and you could have got him on a bridge, who cares? Because the final 5 years of this deal, remember, this is an extension. He has 1 more year on his ELC. So like the first 2 years maybe could be a bit of an overpay. I think the back end of this is going to look like Leon Draisaitl. I think this is a guy who's going to be a top 10 defenseman in the NHL, making $8 million when every other top defenseman in the NHL is going to be making 10 plus or 9.5 plus. And you'll be laughing. And if you're Sanderson, $64 million is a nice chunk of guaranteed money.
That is nice.
You can live pretty good, even if this whole hockey thing doesn't pan out over the next 8 years.
Mm.
If you establish yourself as a top 10 defenseman in the NHL, you know what's going to happen? You're going to be Alex Pietrangelo at the age of 29, hitting unrestricted free agency. He even hit it at age 31 or 30, I think. And what did he get? A massive long-term deal to be one of the highest paid defensemen in the NHL. He's going to cash in twice in his career, and that is a great spot to be in.
Do you know he's the 7th? He's played the 7th most. 7 players have played more games than him in his draft year.
Who? Oh, I thought you had him in front of you.
I do.
Oh.
Lafreniere.
Okay.
Stutzel.
Okay.
Dawson Mercer.
Okay.
Raymond. Seth Jarvis. Anton Lundell. Braden Schneider. Jamie Drysdale, who didn't play last season, did he? Quinton Byfield, someone from Columbus, Igor
Who's
Shinkov.
Oh, Yegor Chinnikov. Yeah, he's good.
JJ Paterka.
How many of those players? So Sanderson was taken, what? Fifth? So behind Lafreniere, Byfield, and
Stutzel and Raymond.
How many of those guys do you take above him now?
Stutzel. And who played, and Ottawa got them both.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, man. Because that was the Carlson deal, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I do believe so.
Do you know what? Just
That's
looking
crazy.
at this first round, that might be my 1-2 in the draft.
You would go Stutzel Sanderson?
I think I might.
Yeah.
Raymond is good.
Yeah.
Seth Jarvis, I actually like a lot. Lundell is very good.
Yeah, but like I see
Byfield's getting better.
Lucas Raymond, what's his ceiling? A
top 6 forward.
Top 6 forward, top line winger, not top line star, but like top line winger.
Yeah.
What's Seth Jarvis' ceiling? Top line winger?
Probably
around there, right? Lafreniere, probably the same. I think the ship's kind of sailed on him being a superstar at any point in his career.
The only one I
got a little bit of hope left. I got a little bit.
Lundell, I think, could be a star in this league.
I think Lundell tops out as high-end second line center, though. I don't think he's going to be a superstar.
You don't think he's like a Barkov?
No. I think the only 2 guys in this draft right now who I'd still look at and be like superstar potential or close to it, you're right. It's Stutzel and Sanderson. It's crazy.
Yeah. Mercer's closest to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually a really good draft. There's a lot of good players, but not
really
a lot
is.
of.
What year is that?
2020. Good deal.
He's already getting paid.
The others took Dylan Holloway.
That Islanders fan's really mad at us.
Why? What do you say?
Go read the comment. No class.
No class.
Come
My
on.
goodness.
You must be new here.
Go watch some video. Yeah.
People talking about when are we going to get the Heritage Classic jersey reveal? I thought it was coming last week. We kind of know what it is. It's going to be that Edmonton Mercury's design. I was the one who broke that a couple months ago. Hello,
that was
insider.
your big week.
Yeah.
You had something else that week too.
Yeah, I was gonna say you went hot.
Puljujärvi getting healthy scratched. We had that.
Oh, yeah, that was one. I think that might have been it.
That might have been it.
Big
Yeah,
week.
there's 2. It was a big week. 1 week of being an insider felt good. Star Mechanical News Desk. The only other thing I had written down was Trevor Zegras is not signed, and I find that very interesting because the regular season starts in just under a month.
Oh, who was the last player who kind of did this?
Nylander, I think.
I think that's kind of what I thought as well, because he didn't sign before the season started.
He didn't sign till like November.
Yeah. Wow, that would be big for Anaheim. A big loss. Not good.
I think he's dating Dixie DeMello.
Yeah, he sure is.
He is.
I saw that.
Oh.
So for all the, what would that be, Gen Zers?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Kennedy could probably like confirm that. Kennedy, are you out there? Is Trevor Zegras dating Dixie DeMello?
Yes.
Wow.
Is that significant? Okay, it is significant according to
For
him.
who?
But okay, wait, but Cole Sillinger and his famous girlfriend broke up.
Tate McRae.
About Cole Sillinger?
Oh, that's why she was on the Zamboni. Okay, yeah. I saw a little sneak peek of that.
Spicy. Thank you, Kennedy. That might be a thing we do more during the year. Make sure
try
we
and keep up with the kids.
Keep up with the kids. Yeah, that's actually not bad.
A lot of I've been trying to do this. I follow Pop Base on Twitter. Oh, sorry, X. And there's been a lot of divorce recently.
Joe Jonas
and Sophie Turner.
Bill Belichick.
Bill
Belichick. Yeah,
that was big. There was another one. There was all those guys whose names start. Wasn't there a bunch of guys who were like Joe or something like that? Like everyone. No, if anyone knows, let me know. I should have probably looked this up. I'll research.
We'll have our new relationship corner mid-season. We can stay up to date.
Let me see if I can find something.
All right.
We'll carry on, but I'll let you know if I find anything.
Anyways, I think that's the Star Mechanical News update. Trevor Zegras does not have a contract, but he does have a famous girlfriend. Cole Sillinger does have a contract, does not have a famous girlfriend anymore.
No.
And maybe getting sneak dissed in a music video. Actually, not even sneaky.
No,
it seems pretty deliberate.
It didn't seem sneaky at all.
That's pretty big for the NHL, though. That's big for the league.
That guy who had the Phil Kessel account says he's back as Ryan Richards. He just disliked the video 5 times and says, I have multiple YouTube accounts.
Nice one.
Should we boot him?
Yeah.
You want to see it?
You didn't think you were getting banned?
Gone.
How do I do it again? Add as moderator. Nope. Report.
Brad Bay says, Tyler, instead of cat food this year, you should grow a season-long muzzy. No.
I'll do that.
Yeah, I've been working on that for the last 2 years.
Yeah, Aaron's got a good one. I will not. I can't keep up with you two. It's too good. Although if we did show Movember, that'd be kind of funny, and we like raise some money.
Let's.
We could probably do that. But that means you got to shave it off.
Oh God.
No.
Would you start from 0 to see me do it for the month?
Yeah, probably.
I've never seen you without it. I've known you for a few years.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I haven't seen myself without it in a few years.
Fair. All right. Let's keep moving along on the show. It is 12:36. Should I do it like I'm coming back from a radio break, like I'm Gregor? Yeah. 12:36 in the Edmonton area, 18 degrees outside. You're listening to the Oilers Nation YouTube. If you want to reach us, you can comment on the YouTube. There is literally no other way to reach us. Let's get to the big list presented by Cornerstone Insurance. CornerstoneINS.ca is where you can go. All your insurance needs. And there's a little button, a little Oilers Nation button, Nation Citizens. Click that. Maybe you get a discount. I don't know. Maybe.
What is it?
CornerstoneINS.ca.
Oh, I'm on Pop Base.
Yeah, that is not Cornerstone Insurance. They insure the nation truck. They can help you with everything you need. Today's big list, Liam, is the 5 most annoying parts of the preseason. Pew, 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 pew.
Press the button, Aaron.
Now we only had one list.
Yeah,
we just kind of pieced together
This is teamwork.
as his team. It does say Tyler's, but the first one is drumroll, please.
The first big preseason win. I am not excited for this one. Connor McDavid's, or no. Here's what'll happen. They'll win like their first preseason game of the year, and like Sutter will score, and Lavoie will make a couple of nice plays, and we'll have like a 24-hour news cycle of like the depth on this team is incredible, and it'll be very annoying. Jack Campbell will play well, and we'll have to do a bunch of like, whoa, Jack Campbell's back. Look out. Look out. I'm not excited for the overreaction of the first preseason win.
No,
it's just kind of like, we've done this so many times. Can we just not?
Yeah, a lot of the times too, I kind of forget they're playing and I find out in the morning, or they'll win the split squad game, or they'll lose the other one. I was like,
This ties in very quickly to number 2. The only thing more annoying than that is overreacting to the first big preseason loss, Liam. Again, we said we're mailing in the show. There will be nothing worse than if they lose the first preseason game. Let's say it's like 5-4. Jack Campbell gives up like 3 goals in 2 periods, and then they go with like Rodrigue for the 3rd period or something like that. And we'll have to sit here and be like, listen to people probably in our chat be like, same old problems. Cody Ceci can't defend. It'll be ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's just the kickoff to it. We've all got to get our reps in.
We got to get our reps in, but it is very annoying. Like,
super annoying.
There'll probably be a ton of Darnell Nurse hate in the preseason for some reason. And like, I guarantee you, if you were to go back through Oilers Nation and read the first preseason game day recap or game recap that we would do from the past like 6 years, you would laugh hysterically at some of the reactions to players we had.
Yeah, definitely.
We should almost do that as a bit.
Like find the old preseason
like
heroes.
After game 1 of this year's preseason, we should just read the game day breakdown, the GDB or whatever that BM writes, and like take a look at what we were talking about last year of the first preseason game.
I think that's a good idea.
I love that idea.
On this day.
Number 3 on the big list.
My personal favorite.
Crowning someone as the answer. Wise Kyle said someone will score like Ty Ratty. Brad Bay said Sutter for the Ty Ratty Award. I think my pick for the Ty Ratty Award last year, remember, it was Dylan Holloway. We were very high on Dylan Holloway coming out of the preseason. I thought he was going to have like 50 points. I think the favorite for this one is Raph Lavoie.
Oh, no.
He's the favorite to win the Ty Ratty Award.
No.
I'm doubling down with Dylan Holloway.
Sam Gagner is winning this award. There's no doubt in my mind. This guy is going to do some stuff. He's going to play more games than anyone because he's on the PTO, and he's going to rack it up. And then we're going to be like, he can still play. And then he'll make the team.
Yeah, I could very well see that.
Ravina is in and says, I'm still annoyed at why there are 8 preseason games. Should be more like 4. That leads us into number 2 on the big list, having to watch 8 preseason games, Liam. Quite literally nothing worse than it when you look at the season of hockey. like having to sit there and be like, all right, Oilers taking on a split squad Jets team.
Yeah.
Giddy up. And then like watching it because it's your job. Again, we could do worse things for a living, but it sucks.
Yeah, I just kind of went through this as well. The Crusaders just went through that, and we
yeah.
had 8. And yesterday they finished up, and you get to that point, it's like, give me some meaningful hockey.
Hey, Liam, when does their season start?
Friday.
Where at?
The Randy Rosen rink. I forgot what it was called.
What time?
I'm not sure. 7, I think.
So
But either
close.
way, 8's too many. 5's probably a good amount.
5 would be fine.
But I would also say they have the Young Stars tournament this weekend.
Yep.
Just let that be. That can be 3. And then you have 5 for your veteran guys.
Yeah.
And whoever's good from that camp you want to bring on, just be like, yeah, come on. Because, like, let's be honest.
McDavid doesn't need more than 2 games.
No, by no means. And let's be honest, like, guys like Bo Akey?
Yeah.
He's not making the team.
Doesn't need to be here.
Doesn't need to be here. Yep. There's a lot of guys who can just go straight down to Bakersfield, keep them around for some skate show, but they don't need to play.
No.
They play in this Young Stars and then send them away. Just get Bakersfield rolling.
I agree. Randy is in and says, why not play zone defense over man-to-man defense? This is exactly what we talked about with number 2. Overreacting to big losses. That's coming. They could win a game like 5-4 and people will be like, same defensive issues as last year. Can't keep pucks out of their net. It's going to be just nauseating.
I can't wait.
Do you know what? Sometimes this happens in mailbag a lot, Tyler. And I like to think we know hockey very well. But people ask us sometimes, like, what could change on the penalty kill or, like, how the system could be different.
Yeah,
like, man, I have no idea.
0.
I don't know. Play the diamond, play the box. I don't know.
Those are the only 2 penalty kill terms I know. Get in the lanes.
Block more shots. Yeah.
Win face-offs.
Yeah. Don't be shit.
Don't be bad.
Yeah.
So this is pretty good coaching I'm seeing right here.
Like, we're not that good, guys. We do a lot of good stuff on this. Don't ask me about systems.
That's why we had John Bell on last year.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 4 was having to watch 8 preseason games. It feels like 18. Number 1 is trying to find them. The only thing worse than actually having to sit down and watch 8 preseason games is sitting there 5 minutes before puck drop and being like, is it streaming on the Oilers website? Is it weirdly on their Facebook account like it was a couple of years ago? Is Sportsnet carrying this? Is it on that weird off Sportsnet Oilers channel that's only active like 12 days out of the year? I don't know. And it's annoying. And then when it's on the website, you're like, what? Do I watch it on my laptop? Is it worth like plugging in a cable or streaming it to my TV? Finding these games and comfortably watching them is the only thing worse than actually having to watch 8 games worth of preseason NHL hockey.
100%. Yeah. There's no comments that need to be added. You did it all. It sucks.
I don't think that guy was kidding when he said he has like 8 bot accounts. We just got to keep kicking him out.
Chicken legs.
There you go. Okay. Let's keep moving along on the show. That was your big list brought to you by Cornerstone Insurance. Liam, it's 12:44. Let's wrap up the show with some Betway talk, Betway other sports report. Tonight, Bills Mafia kicks off the season against a team in the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers, big flashy offseason move. I think they're a little overrated. And
really?
I understand I'm coming at this maybe a little biased because, again, big Bills fan. I'll be in Buffalo on Sunday for the home opener.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. You keep hearing something like this Jets defense is the best since the 85 Bears. And it's like,
I can't believe that guy said that. That was crazy.
Like, that can't, like, come on.
That's the craziest.
That's the equivalent of saying Dylan Holloway is going to be a point per game player after scoring a preseason hat trick. Like, I think this Jets team is just getting a little bit too overhyped early in the year. I think they'll be good. I think they'll push the Bills for the division. They might win tonight. It will be a close game.
Hard Knocks is definitely to blame for some of that hype.
Like, people really buy in when you watch the behind the scenes shows and all of that. I don't think this Jets team is elite. I think they're good. And I think they're being treated like they're elite. And that's why I'm taking the Buffalo Bills, not just -2 tonight. I'm juicing the spread up. I'm taking the Bills -6.5.
Oh, they're only -125 on the money line.
Dude.
Yeah, that's low.
Now let's look. I like betting touchdowns in football.
TD scores.
TD scores. Who do you think number 1 is?
Garrett Wilson.
Probably should be Diggs, right?
Diggs, is 2 guys. Diggs is 1, and then there's a guy on the Jets. Not
Is it-
Wilson. He's the second.
Is it Dalvin Cook? There's no
It is
way.
Dalvin Cook plus 135. If I'm going to put money somewhere, and I know he's kind of questionable, so maybe this isn't the best advice, but Breece Hall is plus 225 to get
I
a
like
touchdown.
that. What's James Cook at?
James Cook.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I really like
where
the
is it?
James
Oh,
Cook
James
bet.
Cook plus 185. Could we get
Oh, I'm gonna hit that. James
Could
Cook
we
plus
get
185
Squad
for
ride,
sure.
James Cook?
Yeah.
a double Cook parlay? Cook it up.
Oh,
Cook it up.
Cook it up.
There are a couple things I'm doing tonight on a betting front. One, like I said, I'm juicing up the Bills, taking them at -6.5. And then that is not the only big sporting event going on. I know we have a lot of Toronto Blue Jays fans in the chat. Wise Kyle was asking if the Jays are going to hold on to this thing. The Jays kick off their series against the Texas Rangers tonight. They are -130 favorites on the money line. So here's what you can do. If you want to do the Yaremchuk tail parlay,
Ooh.
you take the Bills money line, you take the Jays money line, you get it at just over 3-1, and you call it a night.
How are the Jays doing?
They're hot. Swept the Royals.
yep.
Went 10-5 over their stretch of easy games. They are now 1.5, 2.5 clear of Texas in the wild card race, but they play them the next 4 games.
Yeah,
Liam.
this is huge this week.
So this is do or die for both teams.
If you sweep Texas in 4 straight, which you might, they're terrible right now, 3-7 in their last 10.
Really?
If you sweep Texas in these 4, your playoff percentage on Fangraphs I think goes up to 98%. If you
Wow.
get swept, it goes down to like 35.
Ooh, interesting.
So
Huh.
it's a big one for the Jays.
Do you know? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I feel like there's always a team in whatever sport it is that should be way better than what they are based on location.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the Ottawa Senators should probably be way better than what they are because a lot of players are from Ontario, Ottawa, right? How are the Texas Rangers not the best team every year? You know what I mean?
But you don't just draft the players who are born.
No, but you can just sign players, right?
Like they would want to go home. you
Like,
mean?
why would
I see what you
like
mean.
the Leafs? Are
Yeah,
kind
like
of
everyone
people
thinks the
go
Leafs
home.
will
Yeah.
go home, but hockey's a little bit different because it's so a lot of money. But in baseball,
How are the Texas Rangers now better?
like I know they've been buying it everyone
Yeah,
recently,
they've been spending like crazy.
but isn't like a lot of players are from Texas, right?
Yeah, I think
Am I
so.
right?
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think it's like a crazier high amount
I would
than like
think that's
anywhere
one
else.
of the
but-
top 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably up there.
because they were pretty good. Probably what 10 years
Well,
ago.
remember their series against the Jays? Batista bat flipped, Donaldson
Yeah.
sliding home to
But
sweep
just
them.
before that, they were in the World Series.
Yeah, they were good.
back-to-back,
They were
right?
good for a while.
Yeah, I saw about that.
Anyways, a secondary parlay I'm doing. I have one. It's like your safer one. Take the Jays, take the Bills on the money line, play them together. And then you take James Cook anytime TD, play it with a Bo Bichette dinger. 19.9 to 1 on Betway. Wow.
What about a Josh Allen TD tonight? Plus 185. He had 7 last year.
He likes running them in, but
Mm.
I think there's going to be an effort in Buffalo to ease the wear and tear on Allen's body. So I don't think he'll be doing as many goal line sneaks and
They
things like
say
that.
that every
They say it every- we say it
single
every
year.
year.
He had 3 touchdowns against the Jets last season, rushing touchdowns, along with
Oh, I'm James Cook, Josh Allen.
only 1 passing touchdown against the Jets last season.
Mhm.
3. That's interesting. This is the Jets defense is
Jets
very
defense
good.
is
I know
legit.
it's not whatever that. Who said that?
I think it's one of the players. It was one of the young
Oh,
guys.
Goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
Yeah, don't say that.
What's that guy? The corner got Sauce.
Sauce Gardner.
He's legit. The guy
He's
who
good.
thanked himself after sneezing. Quinton Williamson.
Oh, yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
Doesn't he like loves Oreos too, I think.
Oh, who
He's
doesn't?
funny, dude.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a funny
funny, dude.
dude.
Who are the linebackers? I don't really know.
CJ Mosley.
Oh yeah, he's legit. I feel like football season there's such a dull moment, isn't it? Like free agency happens like right away, draft
Yeah.
is right away, and then there's really nothing besides like when's this guy going to sign a
Yeah.
contract?
Yeah.
And then football starts, and you're like, oh yeah, this guy's on this team. Calvin Ridley, apparently on the Jacksonville Jaguars now. That was great for my fantasy team.
He's
yesterday.
unreal.
Trevor
He was one of my
Unreal.
favorite fantasy picks.
Yeah.
And I went heavy on a couple of his props yesterday.
Oh.
Thank you, Calvin Ridley.
Number
Yeah.
0 just looks cool too.
Number 0 is cool.
Kind of want to buy his jersey.
I know. Well, we should gamble on him.
Go to Sports
And
Closet.
then with the winnings.
Head
that's
to
just
Sports
right.
Closet
I bet you they'll have some.
in your Cornerstone Insurance insured nation trip.
Mm-hmm. And buy Calvin Ridley jersey after with the money you win from betting on an anytime Calvin Ridley TD score on Betway.
Any other sponsors we can mix in there?
Synergy.
Mechanical somehow.
I don't know
Couldn't
how we
think
could
of
do that.
Or
Yeah.
when you break down, go sell mechanical.
There you have it, folks.
Nuge Lover asked, how many strikeouts for Chris Bassett tonight? The line on Betway is set at 5.5. I just wanted to take a peek at how the Rangers have been doing when it comes to striking out over the last little bit before I gave anything on that. Bassett's had some good starts as of late, but he can be hit and miss with the strikeout stuff. Over the last 15 days, the Texas Rangers are striking out. Oh, they're towards the bottom, actually, lower third of the league. So I probably wouldn't touch the Bassett strikeouts. I think Bo Bichette's going to have a good game here. They were easy with them, easing him into the lineup off the injury. I like Bo Bichette. I like James Cook in the NFL game. I like the Bills. I like the Jays. How could you not? I'm a homer. I don't pretend to be anything but.
Big upset in the UFC this weekend, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Israel. What's his name again?
Adesanya.
No, they
Sean
got
Strickland.
Strickland. Yeah, beat Adesanya. I think Adesanya's done now. Israel.
It's funny how quickly the internet has turned on him. And now everybody's like, he's so cringe. He's so...
I don't really care about that kind of stuff, but just from a fighting perspective, he got lucky against Pereira, and then he just lost against what's his name again?
Sean Strickland.
So it's back-to-back fights.
Yeah.
I don't think he should get a rematch.
I don't know.
I don't think he should get one. I think the division should move on. I think
Sean Strickland guy is hilarious.
he's a bit weird.
He's a weird,
questionable.
You can tell he's been punched in the head.
Yeah.
All right, that is a wrap on the Betway Other Sports Report 19+. Please play responsibly. Shout out to Betway. They'll be along as a sponsor of the show next season as well.
Mm-hmm.
October 2, we're back every day. Next week, Tuesday, we could probably do one. Probably.
I'm free.
Okay, Tuesday, we'll probably have one next Tuesday again, but I'm going to Toronto to watch the Jays for a little bit. In the meantime, everybody enjoy a really, really fun week of sports outside of hockey. And enjoy the rest of your Monday and the rest of your week. Shout out to Sherwood Ford the Giant, Sports Closet, Star Mechanical, Cornerstone Insurance, and Betway. We'll talk again in 8 days.